Hi YouTube, TechMaster here. Today I wanted to show you how to rotate pictures or objects inside Adobe After Effects. I already have you set up. I'm going to start from scratch, but I wanted to show you the last final results before you would render. I have these keyframes set up and it'll play automatically after I render it, but as you can see it's spinning. It's just one effect that you can do. Sorry, it's sticking and pausing because of the screen recorder, but it does play smooth if I'm not doing a recording. Okay, now I want to show you. I'll just go ahead and render it to show you how to finalize it and render it. You would go to Composition, Make Movie. You would check Desktop if that's where you want it to go. You can really name it anything because you can rename it later. So I'll just put S for Spinn. Just a bunch of S's, and save. Down here, lostness, I find it's better to select FLV so it's not so big of a file, and you can come over here to format and choose best, speed, good, and best. I like best quality. Say OK. On this one is where you tell it where to go, and we already have desktop selected. And then you hit render. There it is, spinning pretty smooth. Okay, and here it is. Now I would have to chop this. Let me see, there it is spinning. I would chop the end off in a FreeMake because it appears the end ran out. But it's just a quick tutorial. I mean, you can perfect it. And I'll start from scratch and show you how I set that up. That's where it stopped. You can see the video continues along the line. That's what you would chop out in FreeMake. Okay, well, we can kill that. I didn't do it perfectly in After Effects. Alright, so let's go here, File, New Project, and no, don't save it, so I can start from scratch and show you. File, Import multiple files, Desktop is selected. Here's our background. And there's the text, my TechMaster name. Done. Click here, because if you don't, you'll drag them both, and I like to drag them individually, or you can drag them down here to the keyframe. Let's see, this is the text, this is the background, so we want to grab the background up here and drag it in the middle. Then you want to grab your text and drag it, and now what you're going to want to do is turn the text only into a 3D frame. So it's selected, you right click on it, and you go to 3D layer, and then you'll say layers, new camera. Say OK. Now you can select the camera tool. Alright, now we're going to want to animate the camera. So we're going to open this, open transform, and position is what you want. So click the little stopwatch for your first keyframe. Then you're going to hold down the shift key and you're going to rotate it just a very little bit, and then you'll march it forward just like at this much, and you can adjust these better after you have them done if you want. Every time you grab it and rotate it some more, it adds another keyframe automatically. So what I did was just continue this all the way around. Move that keyframe like that. And I think you got the idea how to make objects spin. It takes quite a while, that's why I did the first part of the video already done to show you the process, and I rendered it for you. Okay, and as you can see, it's already spinning. Alright, so now I guess I'll go and show you how to chop off the end if you forgot to bring back the bar. That's why I did that. I didn't bring back the bar up to where it was supposed to stop in the other one. So you would copy, you'd go to FreeMake. It's a free program. You don't have to pay for it at all. Just Google FreeMake Video Converter and download it. You edit, paste, and you hit here to start chopping. Let's jump ahead to where it stops. Let's see. Yep, that's it. Right here. We'll select Start Cutting by this button. Pull it to the end. And this is the end. And you hit the scissors and it cuts it. Now let's drag it back. See if it'll play. Now it should stop where it's supposed to. Now to make it continue a few times rather than just one rotation, I'll show you how to do that. Alright, I've imported about a 45-minute movie. It's one of the old Paranormal Witnesses shows. It's about 40 minutes long, and that'll give us plenty of room to put our spin multiple times, spinning as many times as we want. So let's go to File, Import. Okay, let's find it. There's our ease, and grab it and pull it on top. And now what you want to do to make it, to close this in, well, you can actually grab the movie itself and pull it completely off screen because we're not using it. Grab this little thing down here and stretch where we can actually work with this better. Now let's close in the black spaces by going to Composition, Composition Settings, and then Width and Height. You just want to grab and pull to the left, and it'll close it in. Just keep pulling until it gets to the center. It's good. Now the height. One more little one. There, that's perfect. Say OK. Now what you want to do is select your spin movie. Control CTRL key on your keyboard, Control D for copying it, and drag it to continue it. Control D again, and as many times repeat this as you want it to spin. Let's see. There it is. It's spinning. Okay, let's do it a few more times. Control D. Control D. Control D. Okay, for the sake of the tutorial, I think that's good enough. Now what you can do, before we shrink it back, just play it through. Make sure it's fluid motion. I see some black on the edges of the right hand side, so I'm probably going to want to Composition Settings, and close that width in a little bit more. Perfect. Now let's grab our bar, pull it back. You got to pull this right to the end. You can walk it through until it goes black if you want, to make sure it's perfect. Maybe I shrunk it back too soon. Okay, we'll get to the end. Alright, let's go back full. See? And now it's about off. Keep marching it forward. There. Go back a few frames right there. Shrink it back all the way. This is the end of the video. If you forget this step, it'll render up to here and keep going with nothing. All this will be minutes wasted with nothing on the film. So Let's drag this back up to where we want it to cut off. Might want to enlarge it again to get that cutoff point perfect. I think that's good. We can shrink it back now. And our video is ready for rendering. So composition, make movie. Back to our lostness. I like to select FLV format because it's a smaller file. It takes shorter time to render. And output 2. This one we'll name Spinn. Alright. And the desktop is selected. Let's say OK. And render. Now it's spinning. Let's see how many times it spins. So first you got to make the file one rotation, and then save it to the desktop, and then repeat the rotation again and again by Control D for copying it and dragging it to continue all the way down the timeline until you're satisfied with enough spins on it. This animation is not perfect. I see jumps in it, but you can work with it on your computer and get it absolutely perfect. This was just to teach you how to do it. I did it kind of quickly because I was saving time for YouTube upload. On the laptop it would take very long. This is a very powerful computer. Not very, very powerful today's standards. It's not a gaming computer by any means. See the black? I don't know if you see that. That's I didn't space it perfectly. You have to drag back that timeline just a little hair so you don't see any black. So this rotation is not perfect by any means, but you get the idea. So here's another black. I should have pulled it back more. I'll show you what I mean when it finishes rendering. Okay, that's finished. Let's kill this and go back to our timeline, drag it forward. Not too much. Okay, when you're seeing the black, that's these spaces. It's just a hair. It looks perfect, but it's not. There's a gap in between. And that's why you see black. When it jumps from one frame to the next frame. So you have to get these frames absolutely perfect. See the black in there? Pull it back a hair. Now there's no black. It rotates perfect. And you would do this again and again and again each frame until it was absolutely perfect. She has black in there. Like that. You would pull it back. And then you'd have to pull this one back to match it. Until you start from the front working forward. I started from the backward, but you see why they were having black in there. Now I think it's perfect. But anyway, I'm not going to render it again because you know the idea. Let's go here, and we named it Spinn. Spinn. And there it is spinning. And that's how you rotate pictures, spin pictures in After Effects. I hope you liked this tutorial. Leave your comments below, and thanks for watching.